headwind conditions. Well, these are the 6 women who've made it through to the final of the single sculls.
Right in the middle of the screen there on lane 3, we've got Karsten, who really shouldn't be troubled. She's had a very nice run right through. There she is there. She's had a very nice run through the heats and the semi-finals, looking very powerful, sculling very well, and she's untroubled by being required by her federation to do double sculls and quads, as she generally is. But here she's been looking very good, very relaxed, and she's gone right out in front.
Yeah, making a strong start, Katarina Karsten. Interesting, Dan, when she was second last year in the Olympic final to the now retired Katrin Rutschau, her daughter was most disappointed about that silver medal and thought that her mother had not really succeeded, but apparently now she's come to terms with it now and thinks it wasn't such a bad thing.
Yeah, well, she's gone right out well, and we can look across, just looking up the course there, you can see how misty and murky it is, but she's already taken about 3/4 of a length there off Knapkova, who sitting there in second place, is going to test her. She's really the only one in the field here who's going to test her, because with Rutschau of Germany gone, and also the sculler from Bulgaria, Nikova, who's gone into the double scull, her big rivals are not now in the picture. But oh, look at that, she's already a length up.
Yes, 9 years the age difference between Katarina Karsten and the 24-year-old Mirka Knapkova for the Czech Republic, who last year in the Olympics finished a frustrating 4th, although she was the first ever female Czech sculler to make an Olympic final. And on the near side, Sophie Balmery, good servant to both French sculling and rowing.
Yeah, she's moved back and forth between rowing in the pair and sculling, and she's done very, very well indeed. But she's, you always feel she's always going to be struggling to get into the medals.
Going through in just about 3rd place at the moment, Michelle Guéret for the United States. Good to see an American sculler. We haven't seen an American sculler at this level for quite a while.
Yes, not since Anne Martin, but look how well Karsten is sculling. That's really lovely to see. She doesn't check the boat at all. She just sits there and she uses all the power that she's got just to push that boat along. There's no bounce, you can even see from here. There's no bounce, there's no check there in the stern of the boat. Very strong sculler, but also technically very, very efficient.
The world champion in 1997 and again in 1999, but in recent times, well, she's been 3rd, that was in 2003, 2nd in 2002, 3rd in 2001, so this title's been a while coming.
Well, there was a lot to do actually with having to double up, and that did tend to undermine the power of this terrific athlete. Yeah, she's married to a German and she lives in Germany, but she's also sculling for Belarus.
And it is Karsten going out to extend that lead. Knapkova and Guéret, her closest pursuers now. But looking very solid, nice rhythm and totally in control, able to watch for any dangers. There are none at the moment, but very comfortable.
Nice for her actually to be able to see and look around and know that there's nobody from Bulgaria about to come steaming up on her, or Rutschau somewhere on the other side. So it's been quite a clear run for her. Earlier in the heats and the semi-finals, Knapkova broke the world record, and then Karsten went out and broke it again. But that was with wind behind them. That was with a bit of a stream behind them as well, because the typhoon had brought rains and brought the water coming down, and so there's been quite a discussion about whether these records should hold, and the final decision was that they would not stand.
Yeah, that's probably a wise decision. You can see now we've got 2 groups there. Svensson of Sweden on the far side leading the other 2 scullers, and at the moment both Lavina and Balmery have quite a lot of work to do to get themselves back into this, but Karsten well clear, out on her own, not under pressure, able to scull really economically.
Yes, I mean, just look how that boat runs there. She keeps on moving right away, but I think a very good scull from the United States sculler, Michelle Guéret. She's just really pushed up there. She's putting a lot of pressure onto the Czech Republic sculler, Mirka Knapkova, who is not really getting it all her own way. Look, she's doing some very good sculling over the far side there, and now you can see that Knapkova has really started to push on by again. She's really upped her game and she's pushed on by. But there's some very good sculling going on from Gueret. She was bow in the quadruple scull for the United States in Athens last year.
Harvard graduate who enjoys road running as much as rowing, and she's still probably got a hand on the silver medal. But Karsten, who's unbeaten this season, absolutely dominated the Bearing Point World Cup regattas, and showing that she is totally the women they've all got to try and beat, and that's a tough call. We knew that really from the first 15 strokes. She really started out with a vengeance there to dominate.
She's a big athlete. She's a very big, tall athlete, long arms, long legs, very, very good long levers, and she's very powerful. And into this headwind, which is blowing them down, it's slowing them down by about half to 3/4 of a minute. She's the power athlete in this event.
There on the near side there, Sophie Balmery into about 4th place from Julia Lavina, who's 2 from the bottom of your picture, and Svensson just slipping a little bit detached. Very difficult for her to keep herself in the race. She's really isolated on the far side there in just about 6th place now, Svensson. You can just see there, she's in fact having a tussle at the moment with Julia Lavina for 5th place, and 6th place.
Disappointing for Lavinia. I mean, she was in the quad for Russia last year in Athens, which came 5th. She was 2nd in the single in 2001 at the World Championships. So this is a pretty disappointing performance for Julia Lavinia.
Yeah, now 32 years of age, but Karsten in picture there's 33, and her appetite undiminished. She's looking forward to going all the way through to Beijing.
I'm sure she is, and I'm sure she's looking forward to doing that without being drawn into any other boats. She's sculling very, very well indeed. There's a rumour possibly that Ruchau might come back, and I think there's a possibility too even that Nekova might come back. But at the moment they ain't around, and there's Karsten right out in front and dominating the field.
Yeah, well, we've got a very tasty double sculls women's final to come with Nekova, who's been having a really good time with her partner in the World Cup regattas up against the Swindell twins. So that's something to look forward to and relish a little later on. But at the moment it's a Katarina Karsten who's just opening up just a little bit more. She doesn't really need to do any more now because she's got control of this race, and the others are racing for silver and bronze, and still Michelle Gueret and Knapkova. You can see Knapkova's gone into a solid silver medal position, but Gueret looks pretty good for the bronze because the others are well off.
Yeah, they're well off the pace, aren't they? And you can see here how well Karsten is now taking it home. She's got a good length and a half, 2 lengths on Knapkova, who's really now in a safe position for the silver medal.
Karsten just a couple of strokes now, eases off as she crosses the line. Knapkova for the Czech Republic has to keep going. Spirited finish there from Michelle Gueret, and look at the distance. It's a huge margin that the first 3 have got over the others. And coming through, Sophie Balmery into 4th place ahead of Frida Svensson, and Julia Lavina disappointing down in 6th place. But Katarina Karsten, a 3rd world title. Katarina Karsten takes the gold medal. Knapkova had to keep it going. She had the fastest final quarter there to deny Michelle Gueret. A very promising performance by the American. But it's going to take a very good sculler to lower the colours of Katarina Karsten of Belarus.